today I'm going to be talking about the upcoming World Cup in South Africa. Now, the 4 points I'm going to be hitting today are how soccer started, the start of organized soccer, and why soccer is so popular, and of course the World Cup. Now, a bunch of people want to know, how did soccer start? Well, there are three theories. The first theory is that in the 2nd or 3rd century BC in China, the Chinese warriors would cut off the heads of their enemies and kick their heads around. If you want to call that soccer, then that's probably the first form of soccer. Another theory is that in England in the early 19th century, all of the all-boys schools and the boarding schools, the boys would be bored and they'd just find the ball and kick it around. And the third theory is that in Brazil, there were a group of kids in a field and they were really bored and had nothing to do because it's such a poor country and they found a bucket of rubber and they cut the rubber into the shape of a ball and passed it around without using their hands. And they were really good at it, which is probably why they won 5 World Cups. Now, the start of organized soccer, like leagues and tournaments. The first form of modern-day soccer was in England in the late 19th century, in 1863, where all of the colleges and schools and universities came up with a set of rules called the Cambridge Rules. And Cambridge is a school in England, so it makes sense that they're called the Cambridge Rules. FIFA, which is the head of all organized soccer across the world, FIFA stands for the International Federation of Association Football, but in French it's Fédération Internationale Fédération Association. I don't know the best accent. But FIFA was created in 1904 and is still around today. By the early 1930s, countries from all over the world, from South Africa, Europe, North America, they had created leagues and they had played in tournaments and made leagues and made a bunch of teams to play this new sport. And everybody wants to know why soccer is so popular around the whole world. Not just, it might not be the most popular in America, but across the whole world. It's actually dubbed the planet's game. Soccer can be played by anyone, no matter how poor you are, no matter how rich you are, how much you have, or how little you have. All you need is something and a ball. This is probably a bunch of socks woven together. And anyone can play. You don't need to have money and all equipment to play, you just need a ball. And again, all you need really is a ball. And if you want the side of a bench or a wall, and you can just pass through the wall, you can dribble around, you can juggle. And you can just play it and have fun. The third reason that soccer is so popular is that it gives people like this something to do. It gives them something to care about. It gives them something to be passionate about. These people are just regular people from their country, but they have so much pride in their team that they go out and do this. And lastly, the World Cup. This is the trophy that you get if you win the World Cup. It is made of pure gold, and as you can see, it's beautiful. If you win 3 World Cups, your country actually gets to take the cup home, and because you don't get one every single World Cup you win because it's such a nice goal. Now, the World Cup is actually proven to be bigger than the Super Bowl, the Masters, the NBA Finals, and the Stanley Cup. And if the number of people that watch the World Cup is absolutely incredible. 250 million people watch the World Cup. That's just average. It's probably more than that this World Cup because soccer has become so popular. So 750 million people watch the World Cup every single 4 years. And in the World Cup, there are 32 teams that have qualified in a qualifying tournament. It's just like the Olympics. The teams are split into 8 groups, and there are 4 teams in each group. Now, the top 2 teams from each group, they move on to the round of 16. And the winners of the round of 16 go on to the quarterfinals. Winners of the quarterfinals go on to the semifinals. And the lucky winners and the talented winners of the semifinals go on to the coveted World Cup final, which is an absolute dream for anyone who plays soccer or even doesn't play soccer. This World Cup is actually going to be more special than any World Cup there's ever been because it's in a place like South Africa, where these people of Africa have had South Africa have had their country looked down upon for a really, really long time, and now that the world's attention is going to be targeted onto their homeland, is going to be absolutely incredible for all of them. And if you've seen the movie Invictus, you can get the idea of how even the people of South Africa they knew they lived in not the greatest country, but I mean now the whole world, 750 million people are going to be watching their country, and who knows, maybe the South African team will win.